Good afternoon, Ms. Bridgewater. Hope you're doing well this afternoon.
I am, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
The SAP reset date, please.
The last Tuesday of the month is going to be December the 30th, our last one for the year.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see, courtroom 2 and ACDC. Are you all ready for me to give the announcements?
There another add-on now?
Hey, listen up. We're about to start. It's game time. I'm about to call the first group out. I'm gonna need y'all to be quiet back here. And everything else said. What? All right. Burrell, where's Burrell? ABD, sitting on the first seat right here, right, third, yep. All the way down.
Still don't
Terry.
believe this on the ballot.
Probably down.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Andrew, where's
Yes.
Kendra?
Good afternoon, Officer Melton. How are you?
Good, sir. I have one more person that's being interviewed, and then we'll be ready to go one-on-one.
Okay, let me let courtroom 2 get ready to go and we'll be with everyone. Thank you. Courtroom 2, are you ready for me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. If you do not have a private attorney, we're providing you with the assistance of a public defender or conflict defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their service. Who do we have first?
We can start with add-on number 1, Ms. Archer.
And who's representing Ms. Archer?
That'll be me, Your Honor, Attorney Pulliam with the Howard Law Group for Miss Ruth Archer.
Okay, good afternoon, Attorney Pulliam. Good afternoon, Ms. Archer. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008061B with criminal trespass and damage to property. Is there a history? Good afternoon, Ms. Hardy.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is her first arrest.
Afternoon, Ms. Spear.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We're asking, I didn't get a chance to speak with her parents, who are the victims in this matter, but they have expressed that they would like her to get some help for her MH or BH, whatever the case may be. So we're asking at this time for $1,000 surety, MHET, no further violent contact with the victims, Jennifer and James Archer. And that's all. Oh, no drugs, alcohol, and weapons while on bond, of course.
Yes, Attorney Pulliam.
Thank you, Your Honor. And so just to say a little bit about Miss Archer, she is 18, Your Honor, as stated correctly by pretrial. This is her first interaction with police officers. She has no prior arrests. She just graduated high school this past May, Your Honor. She does live with her parents. So we do not have any objections to the no further violent contact with her parents, James and Jennifer Archer. I would just like to also point for the record that this was not a violent offense where she attacked them at all, Your Honor. That is not what happened in this particular situation. We're asking for an OR bond in this particular case. And we would say that, at this particular time, we would not be in agreement with a mental health evaluation. But, yeah, we're not in agreement with that. But if the court orders that, we'll definitely follow through with the court's recommendations.
Your Honor, she had 2 or 3 previous behavioral dysregulation attempts before the police were called. So while I understand the attorney is advocating for his client, we do feel strongly about that.
Okay. It will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with the alleged victims. I'll have her have a social worker visit, which she can have while she's out of custody to assess for a BHET. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Miss Archer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything further, Attorney Pulliam?
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Yeah, 2,000, right, Judge?
Yes.
Yes.
Number 9, Ms. Dotson.
Who's representing Ms. Dodson?
That'll be me, Your Honor, Attorney Rainford.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Rainford. Ms. Dodson, good afternoon. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008041Y with simple battery against a public school system employee. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
No, Your Honor, this is also a first arrest.
Yes, Ms. Spear.
Yes, Your Honor. This is simple battery against a public school employee. She and the child's father disrupted the Frederick Douglass High School when she met with Assistant Principal Dixon. We are asking for a $5,000 surety, no further contact with the victim, that's Assistant Principal Dixon, 8 anger management courses, and to stay away from Frederick Douglass High School unless requested by employees at Frederick Douglass High School. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
Ms. Rainford?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Dotson is 34 years old. She's been in Georgia all her life. She's currently unemployed, so I would have an issue with the 5,000 surety bond, Your Honor. She cannot afford that. She has 3 children, Your Honor, a 16-year-old daughter, a 15-year-old son, and a 9-year-old daughter as well. She completed high school, Your Honor. She also mentioned to me that there are videos of the incident that she has, and that the school, the alleged victim was acting in a provoking manner towards her, and that she did not touch him, Your Honor. I also wanted to mention that she is just going to be denying those allegations, Your Honor. So I'd be asking for a signature bond, given the fact that this is her first arrest, or if not applicable, the lowest possible amount, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, she is correct. There are no surveillance cameras. However, there is an independent witness that witnessed everything.
$3,000 signature bond through pretrial. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the high school unless she's there on business for her children. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Your Honor, can you repeat what the bond was? We couldn't hear you.
A $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Next is Ms. Farah, position 11.
Good afternoon, Ms. Farrar. You've been charged in case 25 CR 008049J with driving under the influence of alcohol, less safe, and improper erratic lane change. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was January 17th, 2020, out of Cobb County for theft by shoplifting, and that's their only arrest cycle. Nothing further.
Ms. Spear?
Yes, Your Honor, there was a $2,000 surety bond already set by the previous magistrate for the DUI. There was no bond set for the erratic lane change. So we would stand by that and we would just ask for an alcohol or drug evaluation. She did have 6 out of 6 signs when she was when she began her field sobriety test, and she did seem very intoxicated and confused at the time of arrest. No drugs, alcohol, and weapons while on bond.
Ms. Rainford, is this your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Farrar is 30 years old. She is originally from New Jersey, where she was born and raised. She's been in Georgia since 2019. She only has a few family members here, not many. She did mention to me that she's residentially challenged, Your Honor, and that she has a 10-year-old son who is currently with a friend. They have been living with different friends, Your Honor. She mentioned she is unemployed. She finished high school, Your Honor. So I would be asking for a signature bond if applicable, and if not, the lowest possible amount due to her circumstances today, Your Honor. I would also be asking for a social worker visit to help secure stable housing for her and her son.
For the DUI will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the improper erratic lane change, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. A social worker visit to assist with any needs for housing, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, ma'am. Attorney Cross, who are you here for this afternoon? Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Your Honor. Thank you. I'm here for Hayden Holt and Kevin Swaney.
And we'll make them available as soon as we can. So,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next we have number 7, Mr. Butler.
good afternoon, Mr. Butler. You've been charged in case 25 CR 008035A with simple battery family violence.
Yes, sir.
Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was December 23rd, 2014, out of Fulton for an FTA. They have 23 arrest cycles. There are 6 felony convictions outside the last 10-year period. There is a 2014 possession of marijuana with intent, 2013 criminal trespass. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Spear?
Yes, I was waiting to hear from the victim on this one. We were going to ask for a $1,000 signature bond, no further violent contact with the victim, who is Carol Davis, and 2 anger management courses. I have not heard from her, so I don't know if she wants to stay away or no contacts, but that's our current recommendation. No drugs, alcohol, and weapons while on bond.
Carol Davis is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity.
Your Honor, I spoke with her. She is not online. She mentioned to me that she does not have the capabilities to get on Zoom. She doesn't know how to use Zoom. I mentioned to her that it would, if she could figure it out, it would be best for her to be here so that you could hear from her. But she did mention to me that she wants him home and they help each other out, and she doesn't want to stay away, Order, Your Honor.
Okay. As such, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Carol Davis. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. We got number 4, Mr. Boyd.
Good afternoon, Mr. Boyd. You have been charged in case, good afternoon, sir. In case 25 CR 008029A with 4 counts of battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy? You're on mute there, Ms. Hardy, if you're speaking to me.
Okay, the last arrest was December 9th, 2025, out of the city of Atlanta for theft by shoplifting. They have 11 arrest cycles, arrests out of Georgia and Pennsylvania. There's in 2021, 2017, and 2015, there were misdemeanor convictions for DUI. There appears to be a hold out of Media, Pennsylvania for an FTA. Nothing further.
Ms. Spear?
Yes, Your Honor. He is wanted out of Pennsylvania, but the officer has said that we are outside the extradition area. This is a pretty violent attack. We're asking for $1,000 surety per charge as he appears to be residentially challenged. And he does have that warrant from Pennsylvania. The victim says that they were leaving Pennsylvania based on that warrant and they were headed to Florida but ran out of gas. And now they live in her car in Georgia. We are asking for a total $4,000 surety, no further contact with Shannon Philipposian, who is the victim in this matter, the FVIB program. And when he was arrested, he admitted to being high. So we are asking for an alcohol and drug evaluation and any treatment. The victim states that they met in rehab and he needs to go back. No drugs, alcohol, and weapons while on bond.
Whenever you're ready, Ms. Rankins.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Boyd, he is 35 years old. He mentioned to me that he does have a good address, 126 South Logan Street. A friend lives there. He says that he stays with him. He did mention to me that, he's born and raised in Pennsylvania. He's been in Georgia for maybe about 5 months. He just started working at Little Taco washing dishes, Your Honor. He has a high school education. He is denying the allegations as the affidavit reads, Your Honor. He mentioned to me that, the alleged victim is someone that he would want to remain in contact with. I was just explaining to him that that's not his decision, Your Honor. But if it is possible, I'm not sure if it will be possible based on the fact that Ms. Spear hasn't spoken with the victim yet. But if it is, I would ask that they are allowed to have some sort of contact, Your Honor. But I do understand that that's not, how it will play out. And I just explained that to him, Your Honor. And so I'd be asking for a signature bond if applicable, and if not, the lowest possible amount, because he doesn't have much money to pay for a $4,000 surety, but Your Honor.
Okay, for each charge will be $1,000 good bond, makes for a total of a $4,000 good bond. No further contact with the alleged victim, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Boyd.
Go to number. We go to number 6, Mr. Burrell.
Good afternoon, Mr. Burrell. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008034E with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
No, Your Honor, this is the first arrest.
Ms. Spear?
Yes, Your Honor, I was waiting to hear back from the victim on this one as well. Let's see. Victim is okay with signature bond, so we would ask for no violent contact. His name is Duantray, Deuntray, Reid, Reid. He's not requesting any other stay away. Your Honor, this was a matter between some roommates, wherein the defendant allegedly came home intoxicated. The victim asked him to leave. They got into a fight. The third roommate pulled them apart. So based on my information from the victim, we're going to ask for a $1,000 signature bond, no further contact with the victim. We are asking for 2 anger management courses as well. No drugs.
Ms. Rainford?
Yes, Your Honor. No objection to the signature bond. My client did mention that he does have things at the residence, and that he actually does not live at the residence. He was only there for a weekend visiting. So I would ask for a one-time escort to collect his video games, console, duffel bag, and any other belongings that he has there, if there's going to be no further contact, Your Honor.
Okay, will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial, level 1. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the incident location. He can go back to that location on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, this is on number 31, Mr. Terry.
Good afternoon, Mr. Terry. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008054J with terroristic threats and acts. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was October 7th, 2024, out of South Fulton for aggravated assault. That did result in a felony conviction for aggravated assault, and they're currently on probation. For that, they have 14 adult arrest cycles. There was a misdemeanor conviction in 2022 for theft by shoplifting. There's a 2016 burglary felony conviction, also in 2016 arson. Nothing further.
Thank you. Mrs. Rocco.
Thank you, Judge. So this case, this was from December 13th. It took place at Autumn Hills Apartments. That's 4483 Flat Shoals Road in Union City. There was response to a report by law enforcement of the child of the victim's child's father having threatened her. The threat was to go retrieve a gun and return back to the residence. She stated it was to kill her. He admitted he had stated to her that he would go get a gun and come back. This was following a conversation wherein she said that a child of his was not his, resulting in a lot of anger. The aggravated assault of which he was convicted this year was against the same victim, Miss Tiara Reed. I should note as well, there is an open case that was closed for transfer to the DAs. They accepted it. Currently, the number is still 24 CR 007289. And that is 7289F, excuse me. That's a terroristic threats and acts and battery family violence case against the same victim, Ms. Tiara Reed. And then we also have a 23 CR 002-523F case. And that case was to be transferred to the DAs as well. And I'd like to confirm here. Yeah, it's the same victim as well, Miss Tiara Reed. So he has a number of violent cases pending and prior against this same victim here and now, with the threatening to return and kill her with a gun. The state is extraordinarily beyond concerned for her well-being. The state is recommending an $8,000 cash bond for this charge. We are recommending FFIB, no further contact whatsoever with Tiara Reed. Stay away from the villas at Autumn Apartments located at 4483 Flat Shoals Road in Union City. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol, and surrender any and all firearms to the sheriff's office. And obviously, with that recent conviction, he is in violation of the no further violent contact provision imposed as part of his probationary sentence. I believe it was ultimately 5 years probation, served 6 months, somewhere around there. But as part of his probation, he was to have no further violent contact with her, which he has violated. If we could sound for Ms. Reed at this time, Judge.
Ms. Reed is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Good afternoon, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Terry is 32 years old. After going to high school until the 11th grade, he went to Penn Foster High School. He completed his GED. He has, of course, child with her, 2 years old. He was currently working at DHL. Because of his depression, he does struggle with some image issues. We would like to request for the lowest possible bond, $5,000 surety bond. And Your Honor, my client has no objection to stay away and no further contact.
Okay, will be an $8,000 good bond, no further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the incident location, social worker visit to assess for BHET, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
I guess we got 32, Mr. Thomas.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Who are we addressing?
32.
Torrance Thomas, I believe.
Okay.
Afternoon, Mr. Thomas. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008048B with theft by shoplifting. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, Your Honor. The last arrest was February 5th, 2025 out of Cobb County for theft by shoplifting. They have 19 adult cycles out of Georgia. There are 2 felony convictions outside the last 10-year period. There's a 2025 misdemeanor conviction for theft by shoplifting. Also in 2017, there's a 2015 false name, address, date of birth to law enforcement. It appears that they're on probation for possession of Schedule II controlled substance and possession of a firearm under 24 SC 002679. Nothing further to report.
Mrs. Smoker?
Thank you, Judge. So this was the theft of a $429 estimated value nail gun from the Home Depot on November 18th, 2025. With the state's, with the knowledge of his history of theft by shoplifting, I did see, that 2025 conviction most recently, but there's an older case for theft by shoplifting as well. I would have to look at the date on that. And then there's, the 2017 conviction for theft by shoplifting that pretrial mentioned. And then it looks like there's another open case for theft by shoplifting as well. And that is it's listed out of, it's Ackworth Police Department in Georgia, so Ackworth, Georgia. We're looking into whether there's a disposition for that yet. If so, that would make this case a felony. We will look into that. The state's recommendation with this and the risk of reoffense here is going to be a $2,000 surety. Stay away from Home Depot at 6400 Peachtree Dunwoody Road in Sandy Springs. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, and that is all for the state.
Ms. Kim?
Your Honor, I believe this is a Riverside issue. He was booked in December 4, 2025. I represented him on December 5 for other matters as well. This incident happened on November 18, and the warrant was issued on December 6, 2025. There was ample period of time, 9 days, that this could have been brought up. Indeed, I believe there was a felony case for theft by shoplifting for that same thing, Home Depot, November 18. So we thought that was taken care of at felony court. And apparently, I guess it is here today at misdemeanor court. We would like to request for signature on bond through jail, no condition. Thank you.
Mr. Rocco?
She is correct that it does appear the warrant was sworn out on the 6th of this month, and that he's been booked here with us since uh, December 4th. So she is correct.
All right, we have $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Stay away from that Home Depot. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
I'm sorry, but which position is this?
Position 32, Mr. Thomas.
Okay, I don't see him. Okay. Jesus. Okay, number 32. Some reason I didn't have him, but okay.
All right, who do we have next?
Position 23, Ms. Parson.
Good afternoon, Ms. Parson. You've been charged in case 25 CR 008037E with death by shoplifting. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was May 21st, 2025, out of Fulton County for criminal damage to property. That case is open under 25 PI 004043. They have 7 total arrest cycles. There's an open case for theft by shoplifting under 25 CR 002890E. There's also a misdemeanor conviction in 2024 for disorderly conduct. Nothing further.
Thank you, Your Honor. This theft took place December 13th at 260 18th Street in Atlanta. It's the Sephora inside the Atlantic Station shopping complex. The defendant had taken $201 worth of beauty products from the Sephora, concealed them in her purse. The state's recommendation here with that open case is going to be a 1,500 surety. We are recommending she stay away from the Atlantic Station shopping complex at 260 18th Street in Atlanta. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. That is all for this case here.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Miss Parson is 27 years young. Your Honor, she's been pregnant for 6.5 months, expecting a baby this coming March. She also has a 2 years old child that she has to take care of right now. She has been a stay-home mom, and her father, the baby's father, is not involved in baby's life at all, no child support. So she's a single mom trying to make a living out of Uber Eats, delivering here and there. She cannot even afford childcare. We would like to request for a signature on bond, no matter how many level the pretrial level has to be. She has a medical condition that she needs to address outside of the jail. She graduated from 2016 high school. After that, she went to Ryan Hart University at Northern Georgia for business administration for 1.5 years. And she does not have a lot of income to pay for the bond. We ask for signature on bond, pretrial level 3. Thank you.
It will be signature bond, pretrial level 1. Stay away from Atlantic Station, especially the Sephora. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Parson.
Your Honor, what was the amount again? You didn't say
$3,000, that's fine. $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, level 1.
Item
Next.
10, Mr. Duffel.
Good afternoon, Mr. Duffel. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008047B with battery family violence and 2 counts of simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
This is the first arrest.
Ms. Spear?
Yeah, sure. I was just reading the victim notes. She will not be on, but she said that her daughter, who was a witness to this, may be on. They've been married for close to 50 years, but there seems to be an increase in the excessive drinking and violence in the last couple of weeks. I'm just trying to make sure I cover everything.
Well, go ahead and tell me what happened, please.
Absolutely, Your Honor. The officers got a call yesterday around 3 o'clock. The granddaughter said that her grandfather had taken her grandmother, put her in a chokehold, excuse me, threw her against some cabinets, and then threw her on the ground. Which is why we had the lump on the head from the fall to the ground is the battery. The simple battery is the chokehold and throwing against the cabinets. She did say she didn't have any trouble breathing, so there wasn't great strangulation concern with the chokehold, but still. The granddaughter or daughter is named Peyton Maynard. I don't know if she's on with us or not, but she was the one who saw and reported everything. In speaking with the victim, it looks like she's asking for an ADET. There may be some other medical issues, but that is a lay opinion, not based on anything. We are asking for a $3,000 surety. No further contact with the victim, Donna Duffel, unless and until we hear otherwise based on the severity of the circumstances. FVIP, and to stay away from 131 Great Oaks Lane, and again, the ADET. No drugs, alcohol, and weapons while on bond.
Ms. Rainford?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Duffel is 77 years old. He's been in Georgia all his life. He's currently retired. He received his bachelor's in business from USC. And he's been married to his wife for about 48 years, Your Honor. He does have 2 grown kids and a few grandkids, Your Honor. He mentioned to me that it was a verbal disagreement, Your Honor. Also, I did have a chance to speak with the alleged victim in this case, Your Honor. And she did mention that she did want to stay away, Your Honor. She mentioned also that their daughter would be getting him a hotel room so that he can stay there until he has taken those ADET classes, Your Honor. She just wants him to be able to take those classes before he returns to the residence, Your Honor. So I just wanted to mention that as well.
Thank you, Ms. Rainford. I had just noticed that in my notes, so I appreciate you bringing that up for me.
For the battery, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For each of the simple batteries, a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Mrs. Duffel. Stay away from the Great Oaks Lane address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings if necessary. An ADET, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
If you're speaking to me, ACDC, you're on mute.
Sorry, Your Honor. Position 33, Ms. Williamson.
Good afternoon, Ms. Williamson. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008050A with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
No, Your Honor, this is a first arrest.
Mr. Sirocco?
Thank you, Judge. This incident took place, this was December 13th at 120 Menlo Drive in Atlanta. Law enforcement responded to a physical domestic dispute call, and upon arrival spoke with the reporting party, the victim here, Mr. Bo Collins. He explained the defendant is his wife and had come to that location for his art gallery's grand opening. She became unruly, threw bottles of wine, took cups of wine, splashing wine against artwork, the wall, the counter, the computer, and then struck the defendant with an open palm multiple times during the event, causing a scene. There was report of prior physical instances between the two that hadn't gone reported to police. Victim says he expressed, after speaking with him, he expressed to the victim Thursday prior to this incident that he wanted to file for divorce, and then started to create distance after that, and um, established the victim, established via text the defendant would not attend the art gallery, but uh, showed up anyways. The defendant waited until everyone left and then stated she wanted to talk. He confirmed the events in the report and says the defendant's gotten more violent in the past few months. He says she is an issue with drinking and will take antidepressants and ADHD meds that worsen the effects of the drinking. Um, the defendant wants no contact with the defendant. He's asking for a stay away order. I don't have his residential address. We would ask that that be for his residential address as well as for the 120 Menlo Drive Art Gallery address. But in total, the state's recommendation with the increasing violence here is going to be a $2,000 surety. We're recommending FIB as well as ADT. No further contact with Bo Collins. Stay away from the 120 Menlo Drive address in Atlanta. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol. Random screens for drugs, weapons, and alcohol. Random screens for drugs and alcohol. And stay away from the victim's residence, wherever he resides.
Kim,
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 29 years old, and I believe they are living together. So, but she is okay. She doesn't have any objection to stay away from incident location. She has another place that she can go to. She graduated from high school 2014. Um, and after that, she went to Nashville, Tennessee State University for fine art major, studying in arts. And right now she is self-employed artist. She has been here in Georgia for 4 years with her husband. She does have a MH concern. However, we would like to request for a signature on bond. This is probably one of the first arrests that she has ever had. And that's what we would like to request for a signature on bond.
it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the incident location as well as his residential address. If necessary, she can go back there on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Next is position 20, Ms. Kilpatrick.
We do have a consent bond on this, Your Honor, which is $1,000 surety bond.
Good afternoon, Ms. Kilpatrick. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008051A with harassing communications. Ms. Spear, you want to put the consent on the record, please?
Yes, Your Honor. We're asking for a 1,000 surety bond, no further violent contact with Edward McKay or his family, and our standard no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond. This should be, yes, that should do it.
Is that your understanding, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Kilpatrick.
Okay, next is position 17, Ms. Marquisha Jones.
Good afternoon, Ms. Jones. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008013C with reckless conduct. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was April 28th, 2015, out of Fulton County for theft by shoplifting. It appears to be open under 17 CR 010690C. Nothing further.
Thank you. Mr.
Could I-
Shiraka,
Yes, Judge, could I get the name of the defendant one more time, please?
position 17, Jones.
Jones, thank you. Please bear with me one moment. It's not pulling up for me. Am I incorrect, or did this, I believe this case already got a bond set.
That was my understanding, Mr. Shiraka, but then I was told that she had a new charge. Good
Yes, Ms.
afternoon.
McLeod, you and I addressed this on Saturday.
That is correct.
So I'm not sure why this was reset to today necessarily.
When I inquired, I was told that she has a new charge of making harassing communications or something like that. So I don't know what's going on.
Is anything holding her?
I only see the reckless conduct, Judge.
Okay, and the reckless conduct has a bond from Saturday. Is that what you all are telling me?
Yes, Your Honor, but my client is still sitting in jail because this was her first arrest, or at least either first or second. I believe it was her first. So I had wanted a signature bond for her, but there were some allegations about a gun, which of course, there's a whole lot of story there. And my
Yeah,
client,
law wouldn't do a signature bond on anything involving an alleged firearm.
Okay, so she has a bond, so I guess if she can make that, then she can be on her way.
Your Honor, I'm just concerned because I was told that she actually had another charge, and I would really like it to be addressed because she believes that her bond may have already been posted or is in the process of being posted, and I would hate for her to be held up if there is
I'm looking at her
actually another
jailing.
charge.
It's just the reckless conduct that I see for her that's holding her.
Okay, so the jail should, if a bond is made, the jail should process her out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so
All right.
what is that bond so I can make sure my records are straight?
I believe it's $1,000 good bond. That's my recollection.
That's what I see.
Okay, thank
So
you.
there should be nothing that we have to do on Ms. Jones' position 17 today.
That's my understanding, Your Honor.
So should I
All
just
right.
mark not on docket?
Well, it was handled on Saturday, so
I
whatever the
just put that.
protocol is.
Okay, no problem. I'll just put that. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Good luck to you,
Uh-huh.
Ms. Jones.
Your Honor, I do have a question for position 20. You said $1,000 SOB pretrial level 1?
For Miss Jones?
No,
No.
Patrick, position 20.
No, it was a consent bond. It was $1,000 good bond.
Oh, $1,000 good one. Okay, thank you. All right. Bye, Your Honor. Bye, everybody.
All right, have a good afternoon.
I didn't forget number 19, Mr. Kendrick.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Who is it?
19, Mr. Kendrick.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kendrick. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008046C with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was September 11th, 2025, out of Fulton County for criminal trespass. Showing open under 25 MAGC 05330. There's 57 total arrest cycles. There are 3 felony convictions outside the last 10-year period. there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 7 misdemeanor convictions for criminal trespass. Nothing further to report.
I believe this is mine, Your Honor. If you would just give me a minute. There we go. Okay. Oof. Okay, so we have 58 total cycles, the last 8 being criminal trespass. He was refusing to leave the Chevron at 4485 Washington Road. So we are asking for a $1,000 surety, as he does have a lot of 8 criminal trespasses, to be specific, in his last arrest. Stay away from the Chevron at 4485 Washington Road. And we would ask no further contact with the store manager, ANIS, first name, last name, KHAN. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
Ms. Kim?
Your Honor, we have no objection. We are actually asking social worker to have a visit for BHET.
All right, it will be $1,000 good bond. Stay away from the Chevron on Washington Road and the alleged victim. Social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing if necessary. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Kendrick.
Let's get number 15, Mr. Holt. You.
Good afternoon, Mr. Holt. You have been charged in case 25CR008032J with criminal trespass and damage to property. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
No, Your Honor, this is the first arrest.
Ms. Spear?
Yes, we offered a consent bond of $3,000 signature, pretrial level 1. And that applies to both charges. Also, no further violent contact with Myla Wilson. That's MYLA, traditional spelling of Wilson. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And 3 anger awareness courses.
Ms. Spear, I only have criminal trespass and damage to property, 1 charge. Is there an
You're right.
additional
I'm sorry. It's on here twice. That's me. Sorry.
Oh, okay, just wanted to make sure. Yes, Ms. Cross.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Your Honor. I agree with the consent bond, except for the 3 anger awareness classes. The client, this defendant, I'm sorry, he's never been arrested. He's 26 years old. He went to college at Clemson. He works at an architecture firm here in Atlanta, and he's been here for a year and a half. The alleged victim is on good terms with the defendant now. It's his girlfriend of almost 2 years. And she doesn't wish to move forward with this case. So I would just ask that you grant the bond except for the 3 anger awareness courses.
We can consent to that, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay. Would it be easier for me just to enter the bond at this point if it hadn't been signed?
Yes, Your Honor. I don't believe
Okay.
it's been signed. Ms. Cross, did you sign it?
Judge, I was going to sign with the express permission and send it over, but if it's easier for you to do it.
No, I mean, I just wanted to make sure that there was the proper signing going on. So is that fine with you, Ms. Cross?
Absolutely, yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Rhodes.
And I was communicating with Ms. Cross while beforehand, so I appreciate
Okay.
it. Thank you.
All right, very good. Thank you. All right, as such, good luck to you, Mr. Holt.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, did you say you had another client, Ms. Cross?
He's actually not on this calendar. My apologies.
Okay, no problem. You have a good afternoon.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you.
All right, next we got number add-on 3, Mr. Montero.
I show I have a consent bond in this.
That is my understanding as well.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Montero. You have been charged in case 25CR008059D with battery, family violence, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, and 1 other misdemeanor offense. You want to put the consent on the record, Ms. Spear?
Ms. Spear, you are muted.
I was trying to pull it up. Let's see, 5,000 signature on bond, pretrial level 1, no further violent contact with the victim, Kristen Montero, the FVIP course, which will count towards a diversion offer, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
That your understanding, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Good luck to you, Mr. Monterio.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Who do we have next?
Add on to Mr. Goggins.
Good afternoon, Mr. Goggins. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008058B with criminal trespass and damage to property and simple assault family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was October 24th, 2023, out of Gwinnett for an FTA. They have 11 arrest cycles out of Georgia. There was a 2023 misdemeanor conviction for theft by shoplifting, 2021 PI. There is a felony conviction in 2021 for aggravated assault and aggravated battery, and interference with government property. Nothing further to report.
Mr. Sraka?
Thank you, Judge. So this incident took place November 4th, 2025 at 1693 Shirley Street in Atlanta. It's an apartment complex. There was a physical dispute that occurred between former roommates that law enforcement responded to. The victim's name is LaRue Cooper. He explained the defendant, who was his prior roommate, had come to the property and tried to get in the house. The defendant came to the front door, wanted to come inside. The victim refused entry, and then he went to the back of the house and proceeded to hear a loud bang at the front door, which appeared to be, from the physical evidence of it, the defendant ultimately breaking the door frame of that door. The defendant also swung on the victim here, threw one punch. It didn't make contact with him, hence the simple assault. And then left. The defendant was later arrested. We have spoken with Mr. Cooper. He and the defendant they had lived together for a year and a half and have lived together for almost a year. They'd broken up one time before the incident, and this incident happened 3 or 4 weeks after they'd broken up for the second time. So contentious sort of relationship. The defendant was upset that he wouldn't let him back in the home. Victim states that nothing like this has ever happened before and that they've reconciled and are now back together in our fine sense. He wants contact. He's okay with the defendant returning to the home. And I believe he's on the Zoom and would wish to make a statement. We would ask the court sound for him when appropriate. However, with the defendant's history, with those that ag assault, added battery conviction, and the 2024 FTA, the state is going to be recommending a $2,000 total surety here, $1,500 on the simple assault, family violence, $500 on the criminal trespass. We are recommending 3 days anger awareness. No further contact with Mr. LaRue Cooper at this time. Stay away from the 1693 Shirley Street, Southwest Atlanta address, that apartment complex, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for Mr. Cooper this time.
Mr. LaRue Cooper is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe I heard pretrial say that his FTA was in 2023, which would mean that was 2 years ago. If that's the case, I would ask the signature bond for my client. If the court is disinclined to give him a signature bond, I would ask for a very low cash bond, say $20, so that he can make it and get out of jail. I have spoken to my client, Your Honor, and he tells me that that did not happen at all. And I'm inclined to believe him because looking at the warrant itself, it says that although The alleged victim says he had camera footage. There was no camera footage. There is nothing to justify or even to indicate that any of this actually happened, because he says my client tried to throw a punch at him, which did not connect, and that my client damaged the door, even though there was alleged ring camera. There's absolutely no evidence, according to the police officer's own words in the warrant, showing that my client actually did any of this. So I'm a bit surprised that he was arrested. Plus, this allegedly happened on November 4. We're now at December 15, and my client denies that any of this happens. He says, he believes the alleged victim is just trying to manipulate him to get him to come back there, and he has no interest in going back there at all. So I'm asking for, if not a signature bond for him, a very low cash bond, something that he can make, Your Honor.
And just to clarify, the defendant was caught on footage walking in the yard at that location. Officers also took footage, took videos, took photos of the property damage, and you have the victim's testimony here. So, state's not too concerned about the factual events that happen here with respect to whether we have the right person or whether he did what there's saying in the warrants. So.
Well, Mr. Scirocco, with all due respect, they saw him walking in the yard. This is an apartment complex and a place that he lived at some point in time. So it's perfectly okay for him to walk in the yard. I am saying, if they're alleging that there was damage to the door, why isn't there some footage of this? If he has a ring camera.
The
Okay,
victim.
we'll litigate it down the road.
All right.
Okay, so it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2 on each charge, makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No further contact with Mr. Cooper. Stay away from the Shirley Street address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you,
Your
sir.
Honor.
Who's next?
Number 29, Mr. Robinson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Robinson. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008056E with 2 counts of simple battery family violence. Your history, Ms. Hardy?
Last arrest was April 28th, 2023, out of Dougherty County for aggravated assault and battery family violence. They have 13 total arrest cycles with arrests out of Georgia and Florida. There was a 2021 misdemeanor conviction out of Florida for battery and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Also in 2022, there's a misdemeanor conviction for battery. Nothing further.
Yes, Mr. Soroka.
Yes, Judge. This is Aaron Robinson, correct?
I have it as Nathaniel Robinson.
Nathaniel Robinson.
Okay, let me make sure. All right.
Position 29.
Thank you. And it's 2 counts of simple battery family violence, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. This was the December 14th incident at 6655 Emerald Point Circle in College Park. There was a response to a domestic dispute call at the incident location there. And the officers made contact with the victim here, Miss Jasmine Scott. She explained that her live-in boyfriend, the defendant, they lived together for 3 years. She stated she arrived at the address. She wasn't able to enter the home because the defendant was inside, had secured the doors with security bars. So he barred the doors. She tried to make entry. She was unable. She was, eventually able to gain access, but for some time wasn't. And upon entry, the defendant said, "Why are you here?" Wouldn't let her enter her own bedroom, began yelling at her, and told her not to return home until Friday. Continued to yell at her to not return, and this was while actively preventing her from entering her own bedroom. She then went to the opposite side of the residence to use the bathroom, and after exiting the bathroom, returning to the bedroom, she saw the defendant inside her bedroom, pouring lotion on the floor. She asked the defendant to stop. He then proceeded to grab her by the neck and push her against the dresser, causing the television to be pushed off the dresser against the wall. She pushed the defendant away, managed to get outside and call 911. The officers observed physical evidence consistent with the victim's account of the events, and as opposed to the defendant who said nothing at all happened. I want to make sure. Yeah, we have spoken with Miss Scott. The two have known each other for years, but they've been dating for 3, as was stated. The incident stemmed from her taking her dad out for her birthday. She states the defendant is really jealous, so every time she leaves the house, it is a problem. She says the defendant's been threatening to kill her lately, and she states the defendant has strangled her 3 times in the past, but has not called the police. We did conduct a danger assessment for this case. She states she's a little scared of the defendant. She wants no contact and stay away from the incident location. The victim's name is the one that is solely on the house. She's worried about the defendant getting a bond whatsoever, but as we know, he is entitled to one here. The defendant only has a bag of clothes at her house, and she said she'd be okay with the one-time law enforcement escort. With his prior violent convictions, there was a battery, the felony recidivist battery, both those were from Florida, 2021, 22. There was an ag assault case that was ultimately dropped, but that was in Florida as well, 2022. And then it appears that he's still got those open charges against him in Dougherty County. The state's, for another violent case, the state's recommendation here. And I should add that we conducted a danger, with respect to that danger assessment, she was determined to be at increased levels of danger. She scored a 17 with respect to that, and that's very concerning for us. The state is recommending a $5,000 total surety, $2,500 for each count. We're recommending FIP as well. No further contact with Jasmine Scott. Stay away from 6655 Emerald Point Circle in College Park, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for Ms. Scott at this time.
If Jasmine Scott is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 35 years old. He tells me that he's been in a long-term relationship with the alleged victim. He denies that it was a strangulation situation. He said they were just arguing and he was just trying to stop her from striking him, and that was all that was. If the court deems that he cannot go back there, I would definitely ask for a one-time police officer escort so he can get back there to get his belongings. If the court is disinclined to give him a signature bond, I would definitely ask for a much lower bond, because he tells me that he is employed and he's anxious about getting out of jail so that he can get back to work. Also, he tells me that his birthday is in a few days' time and he would really like to be out of jail on his birthday. So I would ask the court to take all that into consideration in setting a bond for him.
Okay, for each charge will be $1,000 good bond, makes for a total of a $2,000 good bond. No further contact with Ms. Scott. Stay away from the Emerald Point Circle address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. I want him to begin the FVIP course. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir. You're welcome.
All right, we got on the second add-on calendar, add-on 2, Mr. Statham.
Good afternoon, Mr. Statham. You've been charged in case 25 CR 008068F with 3 counts of battery family violence and 2 counts of simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was June the 2nd, 2025, out of Atlanta for battery family violence. They have 6 arrest cycles in Georgia. There's a 2025 battery family violence felony conviction. It appears that they're on first offender probation under 25 SC 003515. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Thank you, Judge. Yes, that case that pretrial was referencing, which he was convicted, that one, it is the same victim, battery family violence as here. Miss, sure I pronounce this correctly. Yeah, it's Danielle Statham. That's right. She's the defendant's mother. There was an additional case, I believe, also for family violence involving the defendant against the same victim here, his mother again, that I believe was transferred for to the DA's office. I'm gonna look at that in 1 second. I didn't see a disposition for that, so that is open, Judge. Right, but with his open case against the same victim, I'll find the CR number for that. And with the prior conviction, and with this being a particularly violent incident, I mean, he's striking her, kicking her. She's bleeding. She has knots on her head. Her eye is swollen shut from this. It's a pretty brutal attack here that happened on December 14th at 2707 Hedgewood Drive in Atlanta. We are concerned for the victim's safety, and there is a risk of reoffense here, especially with him still being on, him still having that open case, the other prior conviction. There's an extraordinary risk to the victim here. We are recommending a $5,000, $5,000 total cash bond, 750 for each simple battery family violence charge, and that was a 1,000 for each count, Judge. There's 5 charges in total. We are recommending $5,000 cash bond. As stated, no further contact with Danielle Statham. Stay away from 2707 Hedgewood Drive in Atlanta. We're asking for FIP as well. We think that's more than appropriate given his history here. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol. If we could sound for Ms. Statham when appropriate, that would be much appreciated, Judge. And yes, I believe that is all for the state.
Ms. Danielle Statham is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Statham is 30 years old and without returning back to the place where he was residing with his mother, he may need housing resources. So I'm actually going to recommend social worker to have a visit with him for housing resources and also BHET. We would like to request for the lowest possible bond because he has no funds. He has been unemployed. He graduated from high school. However, at this point, he does not have any income. So $1,000 surety bond. Thank you.
For each battery will be a $2,000 good bond. For each simple battery will be a $1,000 good bond. makes for a total of an $8,000 good bond. No further contact with Ms. Statham. Stay away from the Headwood Drive address. If necessary, he can go back on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. The FVIP course, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, we go to number one, Mr. Austin.
Oh, and just for any clarification, we are seeking a felony transfer for that, for Mr. Statham's case. We just have not heard back from the DAs.
Okay. Mr. Austin, good afternoon. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008026F with loitering and prowling and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was October 21st, 2024, out of Cobb for possession of a pistol by someone under 18. That's their only arrest cycle. Nothing further.
Ms. Spear?
Yes, Your Honor. There's $1,000 surety per charge already set. The state would stand by that, based on the surrounding circumstances. We're also asking for no further contact with co-defendant Quantavious Johnson and to stay away from the Chevron on 371 Boulevard. Your Honor, the officers were working detail. There were 200 car break-ins in the area of Hillard and Jackson, so there was a detail ordered there. They found 4 black males in ski masks, all black clothing and hoodies. They were using Lime scooters and looking in various vehicles. Once they spotted the police, they took off on said scooters. They were stopped or attempted to stop by some vehicles, but they all ditched except for one. Which was Mr. Quantavious Johnson. The other 3 were found hiding behind a dumpster behind the Chevron. The air unit was called in because they have fled again. But the air unit was able to help the officers apprehend the defendant. So we are standing firmly behind our 1,000 surety per charge.
Ms. Rainford?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Austin is 18 years old. He has 5 younger siblings who he would very much like to get back to seeing, Your Honor. He's been in Georgia his entire life. He's not working right now, Your Honor. He is a high school senior at Maynard Jackson, as well as Phoenix Academy, Your Honor. The affidavit didn't really say much about him. It really focused on Quantavious Johnson, Your Honor, not my client. So I'd be asking for a signature bond if applicable, and if not, the lowest possible amount, Your Honor.
Does he live with his parents?
He lives with his grandmother.
And have you been in touch with her?
I have not been in touch with her, Your Honor.
All right. I want to get a plan together for this young man. And until we hear from his grandmother, Ms. Bridgewater, are you with me?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Ms. Bridgewater?
I'm with you, Your Honor.
Okay, I want to place him on the SAP calendar on the 23rd in a week.
Okay.
All right, so, and Ms. Rainford, if in the meantime, whoever's working the SAP calendar for me, if you will have them get in touch with his grandmother, if she can be on the line with us, I want to make sure that he's welcome there, that he's in high school, and I need to know a bit more about him. So for today, it's going to be a $500 good bond per charge, which is $1,000 good bond. No further contact with the Quantavious Johnson. Stay away from that Chevron, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. And we'll place him on that earlier SAP calendar if he doesn't get out. Okay?
Sounds good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck to you, Mr. Austin.
All right, he's got number 2, Mr. Barnes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Barnes. You have been charged in case 25CR008027J with battery. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
No, Your Honor, this is the first arrest.
Fear?
Yes, Your Honor, there was a $10,000 surety already set by the previous magistrate. The state would stand by that. We're also asking for no further contact with the victim, Mykia, M-Y-K-I-A Benson, and to stay away from the Regency Park Apartments at 3200 Desert Drive. Your Honor, this was part of a larger instance that occurred. Miss Benson, the victim, was spending Thanksgiving with her girlfriend's family. A large fight broke out. I believe the defendant in this case, Mr. Barnes, actually ran someone over with his vehicle and is being charged with felony ag battery and felony ag assault. There's also a litany of charges. It was quite a brawl that broke out, but this particular microscopic part of the larger incident was that he confronted someone, the victim, Mykia Benson, that he believed had attacked him in the larger brawl, and accused her of pulling his hair, et cetera, et cetera. She tried to drive away, said, "I don't want anything to do with this." And he struck her several times with a closed fist. She also alleges that the defendant stomped and kicked her while she was on the ground, and another female, Trinesia Ward, pulled her hair and also kicked her in the head. So based on the totality of circumstances, we're standing by our the previous set bond and all the other conditions, as well as no drug, alcohol, and weapons while on bond.
Mykia Benson is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Ms. Rainford?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Barnes is 30 years old. He currently lives with his fiance and his 5-year-old son, Your Honor. He mentioned to me that he is denying the allegations because he was trying to break up the incident that took place at his mom's residence. This is the 3200 Desert Drive address. He said he's fine with staying away. He'll just have his mom come and visit him at his place. He's been working at Relogistics doing machine operation for a year. He has his high school diploma. And I would be asking for a signature bond if applicable, but if not, the lowest possible amount, Your Honor.
Will be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No further contact with Mykia Benson. Stay away from the Regency Park Apartments. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Is that number 3, Mr. Bell?
Good afternoon, Mr. Bell. You have been charged in case 25CR008028C with disorderly conduct and criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was December 5th, 2024 out of Dunwoody for burglary. They have 18 arrest cycles out of Georgia. There is a 2019 felony conviction for aggravated assault and criminal attempt to commit a felony. They received first offender treatment on that, and it was sealed in 2023. There's a 2023 misdemeanor conviction for criminal trespass, a 2020 theft by shoplifting misdemeanor conviction. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Spear?
Yes, Your Honor. Defendant threatened to spit and harm a MARTA employee Ball multiple times while on MARTA property after receiving a written lifetime ban from MARTA in February of 2024. He does have a 2024 ag assault that was dismissed. He has multiple MARTA issues, a couple of FTAs from 2022, probation violation from 2021. And I'm sorry if I'm repeating things. We're asking for the $600 surety per charge that was already set by the previous magistrate stand. No further contact with the victim, MARTA employee Ball. Stay away from MARTA and obey the lifetime ban. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
Ms. Rainford?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Bell is 31 years old. He's been in Georgia for about 15 years. He is not working right now. He mentioned to me that he recently lost his warehouse job, but he is actively looking for a new job. He has his high school education, his diploma, Your Honor. He lives with his cousin and he helps his cousin with taking care of his nieces. He's eager to go back to see them, Your Honor. And I would just mention that we are asking for a signature bond if applicable, and if not, the lowest possible amount, Your Honor.
Each charge will be a $500 good bond, makes for $1,000 good bond. Stay away from MARTA. No further contact with the alleged victim. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
I'm sorry, how much that again? I'm sorry.
500 on each charge, $1,000 good total.
Your Honor, he's mentioning to me that he has a hold in
Decatur is what I show. Or FTA.
yes, Your Honor. So again, I would just read it if we could get a signature bond due to the fact that he does have a hold, Your Honor, and would probably be getting picked up by DeKalb, Your Honor, if that would be possible.
Well, we have him here now, so if he didn't go back to the cab, then he needs to deal with this before he goes back to the cab. So my bond stands.
Number 5, Mr. Brown.
Good afternoon, Mr. Brown. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008052F with theft by shoplifting. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was December 6, 2025, out of Atlanta for theft by shoplifting and possession and use of drug-related objects. There are 47 total arrest cycles, arrests out of Georgia and Tennessee. A felony conviction in 2021 for theft by shoplifting. There's a 2020 misdemeanor theft by shoplifting. Nothing further to report.
Thank you, Mr. Soroka.
Thank you, Your Honor. And as you've heard, a lot of theft by shoplifting and NOLOs do count for purposes of conviction and for consideration as a felony. Ordinarily, this would be a felony recidivist theft by shoplifting offense. However, it appears in that 2020 case, he represented himself. So we'll be keeping this case, but just so the court knows, he does have 3 priors.
Mr. Soroka, excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to make sure whoever the attorney is with me. I don't see anybody on the screen nor at the seat. So who's representing Mr. Brown?
It should be Miss Kim, Your Honor.
You with me, Ms.
Yes.
Kim?
Yes, I am with you, Your Honor. I apologize.
Okay, thank you. I apologize, Mr. Soroka. You can go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. But this incident was it took place at the Marshalls, 2625 Piedmont Road in Atlanta. The defendant took $119, almost $120 worth of portable electronics communications items from the Marshalls there. And 2021, I should mention that fugitive from justice for fingerprintable charge for out of state. He does have some out of state history here. So there's a flight risk, a risk of reoffense. The state's recommendation thus is going to be a $2,000 surety. Stay away from the Marshalls at 2624 Piedmont Road in Atlanta. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And that is all from the state on this case.
Thank you, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Brown is 43 years old. He was born in Tennessee, and he has been here in Georgia for the last 6 years. But out of 6 years, 5 years out of that 6 years, he has been homeless. He does struggle with a drug, and he is actually seeking for a rehabilitation program. So I am planning to refer him to social worker, to have a visit for housing resource or drug rehabilitation program or BHET. He has 4 children. However, he has not been able to contact any of them. That's all I got right now. We would like to request for $1,000 surety bond. There's nobody else who can pay for his bond at this point.
Will be $1,000 good bond. Stay away from the marshals on Piedmont Road. Social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Brown.
Next we got number 8, Mr. Kennedy. Kennedy.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kennedy. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008040D with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was September 14th, 2022, out of Fulton County for an FTA. They have 18 arrest cycles out of Georgia. There's 2 felonies outside the last 10-year period. There appears to be an open case for driving while license suspended or revoked, hit and run and following too close. That case number 16 CR 006704E. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Spear?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Mr. Kennedy allegedly disciplined the daughter that he shares with the victim, Tiara Bailey. That erupted into a disagreement. The victim, Miss Bailey, asked him to leave the location. He allegedly jumped on the bed, grabbed her neck, and headbutted her. She was holding her child during this, but the child did not get hurt. Mr. Kennedy fled the location when she called 911. She did not have any visible injuries at the time. I don't know if she does now. I do show that he is wanted out of Atlanta for simple assault. He does have an FTA from 2022. We are asking, because of the circumstances of the charge and the criminal history, for a $2,500 surety. No further contact with Tiara Bailey, the FVIB program, and to stay away from 161 Walnut Street, the incident location.
Ms. Bailey is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Ms. Rainford?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Ms. Bailey is on the line. You can unmute yourself, Ms. Bailey.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. If you'd like to address the court, I need for you to raise your right hand for me.
Okay.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
That we have 6 children together, 4 that's all under 5. And so basically I've had a baby year after year after year, the last 5 years. And I was dealing with post-traumatic stress and manic depression. And our youngest is she's disabled and she has extra extremities, acute Down syndrome, and autism. And he helps me with my children. I was going through something. See, that's her. Get her, get her. And the stay away, I cannot. I don't agree with that because, like I said, I tried to tell the officer when he was there that I didn't want to press charges or anything, and that wasn't what was happening. And I was on some type of anti depression medicine they had gave me at the hospital, and before I left, and it was post-traumatic stress. And I guess I wasn't supposed to be taking it with wine and stuff, but I tried to tell the police or whatever, and they said that since it was a domestic charge that I couldn't take it back. And I mean, he's never ever done that. We've never had any problems. Our oldest is 11, and I've never had to call the police on him. We've never had any altercations. I have a lot dealing with the kids, and he is the disciplinary. And I was just going through something that day. I just was upset, and that's not exactly all what had happened. I told him that wasn't what had happened. That's why there wasn't any injuries or anything. And they still wouldn't let me take it back. The officer was very rude. He said that he knew his name and he didn't. It was just a lot going on, more so towards him towards my kid's father than listening to me or actually understand what was going on because, like I said, it was more towards him. The officer had knew him prior. So, but I don't actually need him to not be around. I need him. He's the one who, takes my daughter, the younger one, to her physical therapy, to her appointments, because I have to be here with my other younger kids. And I mean, he's just a lot of help. He does everything literally for us. Like, and I don't have a job. So he's the one that helps with supporting us. So him not being able to be around or being away from our home is like literally impossible for me. Like, it's a lot to deal with.
So this has never happened in the past?
No, sir. No, sir. He's never ever, if you look and see, he's never ever been arrested for ever assaulting me or any of my kids or anything. Our oldest is 11 and our youngest is 1. It's 1, 4, 2, 1, 2, 4, and 3. And then, like I said, I have the 9-year-old also with him. But she's disabled, so I've never dealt with that or ever had to. And he has somebody in his family, so he's prone to things like that. So it's new to me. So he's the helper for us. He's like, she literally cries like without him. Like she's been crying the whole weekend, and it's very hard for me to like deal with her without him here. Like not deal with her, but to like understand what she's going through because she loves him.
All right. Ms. Spear, do you have some questions?
Yes. Do you know who the victim is in a simple assault case if it's not you?
No, ma'am.
Nothing further.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Bailey. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Rainford.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Kennedy is 35 years old. He's been in Georgia his whole life. He works with his sister at her hair company, Your Honor. He graduated from high school, and along with the testimony from the alleged victim, Your Honor, he has 7 kids total. And he actually mentioned that this is his fiance and that they are planning to get married next year, hopefully, Your Honor. So I'd be asking for a signature bond if applicable, and if not, the lowest possible amount, Your Honor.
All right. Will be a $10,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No further violent contact with Ms. Bailey. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. And I want him to begin the family violence intervention program. Good luck to you, sir.
Item 14, Mr. Holcomb.
Good afternoon, Mr. Holcomb. You've been charged in case 25 CR 008031E with theft by shoplifting.
I believe we have a consent bond on that, Ms. Rainford. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Spear. If you'll place it on the record.
Yes, Your Honor. We're asking for a $2,000 UJR through the jail. Stay away from the district at Howell Mill, located at 1801 Howell Mill Road in Atlanta. The anti-theft course while out on bond, and of course, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
Is that your understanding, Ms. Rainford?
Yes, Your Honor. My client did ask if there was a specific anti-theft course that he needed to participate in. Just wanted to confirm that for him.
I think that pretrial can direct him to the anti-theft class.
I believe it's AACS is the acronym. I can't even remember now, but that's the acronym for it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, good luck to you, Mr. Holcomb.
I'm sorry, what was the bond amount?
2,000 UJR through the jail.
He has conditions for.
21, Mr. Law.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
He has conditions and it's through the jail.
That's their consent, Ms. Strong.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Who do we have next?
21, Mr. Law.
Good afternoon, Mr. Law. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008055B with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was October 21st, 2024, out of Swanee for criminal damage to property. They have 7 arrest cycles out of Georgia. Nothing further to report.
Who's presenting for the state?
I believe this is Mr. Sirocco's.
I believe it's Miss Spear.
It is? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's on the sheet I gave you.
Okay. Here we go. What's the last name again?
Law, LAW.
Okay, I found it. Thank you. Apologies. This was a domestic dispute. There's 2 cases in 2021 involving the same victims. One was exceptionally violent. He also has a 2025 criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree that has been indicted. Again, the same victims. They are his mother and his stepfather. We have spoken with them. They agreed that our request for this bond is adequate. We are asking for a $3,000 good bond. Stay away from the incident location at 111 Kennemer Court in Johns Creek. No further contact with the victims. Sang Moon Chang, his stepfather, and Sum Yi Law, his mother. He had just gotten out of jail when this occurred. He had punched 2 large holes in the drywall. He said it was because his parents had abused him, but they hadn't seen him in quite some time. So there seems to be some kind of confusion around that. But due to his history with these victims and knowing that they are requesting that he stay away, we're standing firm on our request.
Thank you, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Mr. Law is 36 years old. He was born and raised here in Georgia, Your Honor. He graduated from high school 2007. After that, he went to Georgia State University for a science degree, Georgia Tech for a bachelor's degree in accounting. However, at this point, he does not have any employment. I am asking social worker to have a visit for BHET and housing resources, since he will not be able to go back to the place where he was staying with his mother and stepfather. Other than that, we request for a $1,000 surety bond, because no matter what, he's not going to be able to pay for it. If Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we ask for the lowest possible bond. Thank you.
It will be $1,000 good bond, no further contact with the alleged victims, stay away from the incident location, social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Law. Your client has a question, Ms. Kim.
Mr. Law, please feel free to call me. You have a right to remain silent. I strongly recommend you not to say anything.
Okay, is there a way you can mail me your number, your contact information?
Yes, the officers know my number, so you can ask them, they will give it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, we got 22, Mr. Moore.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moore. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008036Y with battery, simple battery, criminal trespass, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Their last arrest was November 16th, 2025, out of Atlanta for obstruction. That's their only arrest cycle. Nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Sirocco.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's recommendation here is going to be a signature bond through pretrial. We are recommending 3 days anger awareness. No further contact with Deshaun Shelton. Stay away from 6145 Forest Avenue in Union City, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol. We would ask the court to sound for Deshaun Shelton at this time, or Miss Shamikia Davis if she is online and wishes to make a statement with respect to the incident. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol. And that is all for the state on this case.
If either of those individuals are on the line and wish to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Yes, Ms. McCollum.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We are fine with the signature bond through pretrial. The anger awareness, I'm not sure if that is free, then we're also okay with that.
For the battery, it's $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For each of the other charges, a $500 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 3 days anger awareness. No further contact with the alleged victims. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Was there a stay away request, Mr. Sirocco?
There was, Judge, from 6145 Forest Avenue in Union City.
Okay, and he's to stay away from the Forest Avenue address.
That is correct, Your Honor. I was able to talk with Mom, and she confirmed that that was what she was asking for.
Okay, very good. Good luck to you, Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
All right, next we got 24 and 25, Mr. Pearson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pearson. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008038H with 2 counts of battery family violence and 1 count of simple battery family violence, and in case 25 CR 008039H with 2 counts of simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was June 28th, 2024 out of Fulton. For a capital offense, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm. That case was DWOP. They have 2 arrest cycles, arrests out of Georgia and California. Nothing further to report.
Mr. Sirocco?
Thank you, Your Honor. So here we have 2 different violent incidents against the same victim here. With respect to the first of these incidents, that was November 11th, 2025. This was at their residence where the victim and defendant reside, 1220 Gun Club Road in Atlanta. It's an apartment complex. The law enforcement responded there in reference to a domestic and made contact with Miss Nakia McClester. Nakia, apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. She explained the defendant, who is her child's father and lives with her there, had struck her in the face with an open hand during a dispute over money. She sustained injuries to her right eye, redness and swelling. She was on the phone with her mother, who was on FaceTime during the incident. She witnessed a portion of the dispute over FaceTime, and she was the one who called the police. And the victim confirmed the defendant's identity there via photo ID. The second incident, which is the 2 counts of simple battery as opposed to the 2 counts of battery family violence and the simple battery family violence from the previous instance. This one here on December 13th was at a BP gas station, and that was at 610 Spring Street in Atlanta. Law enforcement responded to a fight in progress call between 2 individuals, male and female, at the location. They were flagged down by security when they got there. That led them to where the victim and defendant were located. Miss McClester explained the defendant, who was the father of her 4-year-old. They had gotten in physical altercation there. Defendant refused to give her phone back, and she walked away back towards the gas station street exit, at which point the defendant followed her with his car trying to get her back into his vehicle. The defendant actually stepped out of the vehicle and proceeded to push Miss McCluster aggressively, grabbing her jacket and forcing her back into the vehicle. There were witnesses who observed the defendant push and grab her aggressively back into the vehicle. There was video that law enforcement observed that captured the incident. He's seen grabbing her and pushing her back into the vehicle. And from my understanding as well, I mean, that incident was called in by a third party. We did speak with Miss McCluster. She confirmed they do share a daughter and they've been together since 2019. There was an argument over the phone with respect to the first incident, and her mom was the one who called the police. She states these are the only two incidents of violence between them, but and stated that the defendant gave her her things back and they were okay. She is she does want contact. The She also stated that with respect to the second incident, that incident started because she was already frustrated with people fixing her tire, and somehow, I mean, she says the defendant didn't throw her in the car, despite the witness testimony and the video surveillance obtained. So I hope she knows that with respect to making statements truthfully before the court if she does wish to speak here today. Yeah, I mean, that's concerning. Two violent incidents against the same victim called in by third parties. First by her mom, the second by one or more concerned citizens here. Regardless of the victim's wishes here, sometimes victims need to be protected against themselves. We are concerned for her safety. With respect to the first case with the 2 counts of battery family violence and the 1 count of simple battery family violence, the state's recommending a $5,000 total surety, $2,000 for each battery family violence and $1,000 for the simple battery family violence. With respect to the second case, we're recommending $2,000 total surety, 1,000 for each simple battery family violence. With respect to both, we are recommending FIP, no further contact with Nakia McCluster, stay away from 1220 Gun Club Road, that apartment complex in Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for Miss McCluster.
Ms. McCluster is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so.
Yes, how you doing, sir?
I'm well, ma'am. Can you activate your camera for me, please?
It says, oh, okay, there you go.
All
How you
right, and
doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you, ma'am. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
Yes, Your Honor. I wanted to clarify the situation from my perspective. During these incidents, emotions were high during the argument. I did not intend for it to turn into a criminal matter. I do not feel afraid for my safety, and I am not concerned. I'm not afraid for my safety, and I also do want contact with him. It's just that the emotions were high during the simple fact, and like Mr. Sirocco said, that it was third parties that called in. I never called on him. It was just people in our business, but it was never for it. I don't feel threatened. I don't feel harmed. I don't feel unsafe around him. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, well, apparently,
And for the first
so
incident, I don't understand why it's saying that I had something red around my eye. I honestly have eczema on my face, and my face breaks out a lot. So I don't know if that's where they got the red thing from, but I never had any bruises on me.
you have any questions, Mr. Sirocco?
No, Your Honor. Officers observed redness and swelling that correlated to where and how the incident was described. No, we don't have any questions, Judge.
Okay. How old is your child, Ms. McCluster?
Our child is 4 years old.
Is it a boy or girl?
She's a girl.
And was she around when all this was going on?
No, sir.
Has it ever happened before,
No,
other than
sir.
these 2 times?
No.
Thank you for being here, ma'am. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, my client, Mr. Pearson, is 21 years young. He graduated from, no, he didn't graduate from high school yet. 2022, he was 11th grade, and he doesn't have a GED, so that's what he's pursuing right now while he's raising his child and working as an electrician. Um, well, he prefers to have a no for the violent contact. Because his income is very limited, we would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna have him get in the Family Violence Intervention Program, Ms. Kim.
Sure.
Until he starts that class, I'm also gonna have him not to have any further contact. You can modify this down the road once he starts the FVIP, but I want to make sure that he starts that before he goes back into the household. For each, on position 24, for each of the batteries will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. For the simple battery, it will be a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Makes for a total of a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. I want him to start the Family Violence Intervention Program. I want him to have 2 parenting classes. At this point in time, he's to have no further contact with Miss McCluster and stay away from that Gun Club Road address. There will be third-party transfer of the minor child for visitation. And if he needs to go back to retrieve any belongings, I'll give him a one-time police escort to do that. He's to continue working on his GED. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. So for the meantime, Ms. McCluster and Mr. Pearson, you all are not to have any contact. But if you start the Family Violence Intervention Program, Mr. Pearson, you can petition the court once you get started to see if you can have contact. All right, good luck to you both.
Your Honor, he got position 25.
Oh, yes, thank you. For position 25, for both of the simple batteries will be $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, with all of the other conditions that I announced for position 24. All right, good luck to you both. Ms. Kim, your client needs to talk to you, I guess, at some point, so you can have him call you.
Sure.
I guess we got 26, Mr. Phillips.
Good afternoon, Mr. Phillips. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008045C with terroristic threats and acts. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was January 5th, 2023 out of Atlanta for a DUI. They have 45 arrest cycles. There's a 2014 misdemeanor conviction for simple assault, obstruction and disorderly conduct. 2007 simple assault, 2008 criminal trespass. Nothing further to report.
Mr. Rocco?
Thank you, Judge. And I do want to supplement that a little bit. I did find 2022 battery family violence conviction, 2019 battery family violence conviction, and a 2018 simple battery family violence conviction. This incident here took place December 13th at 1105 Arlington Avenue in Atlanta. Law enforcement responded to a fight call there and made contact with the victim, Mr. William Churchill. He explained that the defendant who resides with him had gotten involved in a physical dispute with him. There was a verbal dispute in the kitchen, and that escalated when the defendant brandished a knife and threatened to stab Mr. Churchill. The victim was able to provide video footage of the incident, and the defendant was ultimately arrested here. State's recommendation with his history of violent convictions that are domestic in nature is going to be a $5,000 surety. No further contact with William Churchill. Stay away from 1105 Arlington Avenue, that is in Atlanta. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons of any kind while out on bond. And I believe that is all for the state on this case. We have not heard from Mr. Churchill yet. We would ask the court sound for him, and we will continue our efforts at contacting him as well.
Mr. Churchill is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Phillips is 46 years old, born and raised here in Georgia. That Arlington address is actually a rooming house, so he rents one of the rooms and he's residing with different roommates. He denies the allegation. At this point, he's working at First Staffing Company. He has a warehouse job. He graduated from high school in 1997, and he took some classes online. He does have a culinary art certification, but because of the previous domestic violence that Mr. ASG was talking about, he was locked up. And he lost all his brother, sister, father, mother, recently, and it has been very traumatizing. I would like to request for signature on bond. However, if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we would like to request that $1,000 surety bond that was set by the judge at downtown to remain set. Thank you.
Okay, it will be $1,000 good bond. No further contact with Mr. Churchill. Stay away from the Arlington Avenue address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Phillips.
I just got 27, Mr. Redford. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Relford. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008043F with battery family violence and simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was May 23rd, 2022, out of Clayton County for simple battery and terroristic threats and acts. That's their only arrest cycle, nothing further.
Mr. Sirocco?
Thank you, Judge. This incident took place December 13th. This was this year at 3200 Lenox Road in Atlanta. Law enforcement responded to a person who was injured, domestic dispute call at that location, and upon arrival made contact with the victim here, Miss Megan Jones. She explained the defendant, who is her boyfriend of 4 years and lives with her, had gotten into a physical altercation with her. The two have been having issues, and he has gotten physical in the past with her, she reported. And here the defendant caused bruising that officers were able to observe by snatching her by her clothes. She sustained bruising under her chin and also under her right breast from this incident. And with prior presumably open case for civil battery, terroristic threats and acts, and with this being not the first violent incident between the two, with her alluding to previous incidents between them and previous injuries. State's recommending a $1,500 surety bond. We are recommending $1,000 on the battery family violence and $500 on the simple battery family violence. No further contact with Megan Jones. Stay away from 3200 Lenox Road in Atlanta. I want to make sure that sounds like a public address. The state will recommend to stay away from the victim's residence, and I'll confirm whether that's a public address very shortly here. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bonds. And if we could sound for Miss Jones, we have not been able to reach her yet, but if she's online and wishes to speak.
Ms. Jones is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. I am asking for a signature bond for Mr. Ralford. He is 34 years old. He has one previous cycle. I actually took the time to check into that. This was from an incident which allegedly happened sometime in January of 2021. I actually checked out Clayton County, and it seemed that they are not going to be going forward with this case because it is set to be revisited, believe it or not, in January of 2027. So I think the judge has just ordered that because the state has made no movement on this case. And my client tells me it's because they have absolutely no evidence. And I would tend to believe him since this is something they allege happened in January of 2021. And it's not set for any kind of movement other than to be revisited in January of 2027, Your Honor. My client is not a violent person at all. And he tells me that, what happened between them, they were just having an argument. They have been in a relationship for over 4 years. Unfortunately, I was unable to speak with her, but he tells me that is where he lives. So they live together, and both names are on the lease. And he has nowhere else to live at the moment, Your Honor. So I would ask the court, even though she's not here, and I know that usually the court says no further contact, to give him a no further violent contact, Your Honor, because otherwise he's essentially homeless and nothing further.
And yes, Your Honor, that address, the 3200 Lenox Road, it appears to be an apartment complex. That's where we'd be asking for the stay away from. And yes, in the absence of speaking with her, with respect to her wishes here, and with that, what is still an open, violent criminal case, we are recommending a stay away and no further contact.
All right, for the batter, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the simple battery, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Until someone speaks with Ms. Jones and clarifies her wishes, there will be no further contact and a stay away from that Lenox Road address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Ralford.
Thank you, Your Honor. And that concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next time, Ms.
Thank you,
McLeod.
Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank
All
you.
right. On the second add-on, number 1, Mr. Davis.
Good afternoon, Mr. Davis. You have been charged in case 25 CR 008069D with theft by shoplifting. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was May 14th, 2025 out of Douglas County for an FTA. They have 53 total arrest cycles. There's a 2025 felony conviction for theft by shoplifting and possession of tools. There's a 2021 misdemeanor conviction for simple battery and theft by shoplifting. 2019 driving while license suspended or revoked. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Rocco? Oh, Ms. Spear?
We were debating about whose case is for, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
you're
This is
fine.
up for a felony recidivist transfer. He has 2 theft by shopliftings in 2012, 1 in 2014, 2 in 2017, 2019, 2021, 2022. And then after this, because this happened in March in 2024, he had 2 in May of 2025. So we are asking for the felony recidivist transfer. We have not heard back yet. In this particular instance, he was at Target and stole a $200 toothbrush and 5 Crest whitening strip boxes at $50 a piece. So he came in right under the $500 limit at $484.81. Due to the high likelihood of recidivism, we are asking for a $10,000 surety. Stay away from all targets as he was implicated in another Target theft with this when they were investigating this particular matter. An anti-theft course and no further contact with the investigating officer at Target, Joseph Roche, Roch, No drugs, alcohol, and weapons while on bond.
Did you tell me a recommended bond amount, Ms. Spear?
10,000 surety.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Georgia majority of his life to be approved for disability, Your Honor. He also mentioned to me that he graduated from Pebblebrook High School and that he attended some night classes at UMD. He also mentioned that he is a Army veteran. He had 4 years of service. He was discharged honorable. He also mentioned to me that he is currently in Veterans Court in Cobb County, Your Honor. And so I'd be asking for the lowest possible amount if a signature bond is not applicable.
It would be a $2,000 good bond. Stay away from all targets. No further contact with I guess the manager at the target that he was allegedly in. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Davis.
So we go to the waiver case of number 12, Ms. Flanagan.
Okay, Ms. Flanagan, charged in case 25 CR 008053A with simple battery, family violence, simple battery against a police officer, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, cruelty to children in the third, and terroristic threats and acts. So your history, Ms. Hardy? You're on mute, Ms. Hardy.
Last arrest was August 29th, 2024, out of Fulton for obstruction and battery family violence. They have 5 arrest cycles. It appears that they're on probation, first offender probation for aggravated assault, family violence under 21 SC 179945. Nothing further.
Spear.
Yes, Your Honor. We're asking for a $5,000 surety, the Family Violence Intervention Program, an MH eval, no further contact with the victim, Nathaniel Robinson. Stay away from 2786 Hateville Road. Miss Flanagan had quite the disruption. She started throwing random objects at Mr. Robinson, including a tablet, which landed on the floor and broke. Mr. Robinson began filming Miss Flanagan. She tried to grab him. They both fell into a wall, which left a hole in the wall. Their daughter, and the granddaughter were present and witnessed it. Miss Flanagan was taken to Grady. When they tried to handcuff her to the gurney, she started yelling, thrashing, using profanity. She ripped her IV out and attempted to remove herself from the handcuffs. She then stood up from the gurney and attempted to pull her arm or her wrist from the restraints. She then told the officer, "You're not arresting me," then struck the officer with a closed fist. The officer was able to subdue her. Ms. Flanagan continued to flail and then intentionally kicked the officer in the chest. When they finally got her subdued, Ms. Flanagan said, "Let me out of these handcuffs, bitch, and I'll catch a real charge." So for all that and more, we're standing by our $5,000 surety, MHET, FVIP, no further contact, and stay away. No drugs, alcohol, and weapons while on bond.
Rainford.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Flanagan is 42 years old. She has been in Georgia all her life. She's currently unemployed. She mentioned to me that the alleged victim in this case, Mr. Robinson, is actually her husband. They've been married for 8 years. Although they've been together for over 20 years, she mentioned that he doesn't allow her to work. So I'm not sure how she would be able to pay for a bond, Your Honor. She also mentioned to me that Mr. Robinson was the initial aggressor, and she has recently started having seizures, Your Honor, and that She has 3 grown children and a 5-year-old daughter, Your Honor. She also mentioned that she was, again, it was a verbal altercation and that her husband was the initial aggressor. She would like to have contact with her husband, Your Honor, because they do live in the same home. She said that if it's not possible right now, she would be able to go to her sister's home, Your Honor. So I'd be asking for a signature bond if applicable, and if not, the lowest possible amount, Your Honor.
$1,000 good for the simple battery against a police officer, a $2,000 good bond for each of the other charges, a $500 good bond makes for a total of a $4,500 good bond. No further contact with Nathaniel Robinson. Stay away from the Hapeville Road address. If necessary, she can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Your Honor, will you go over those bond amounts again? You were chopping up very badly.
The simple battery, 1,000 good. The simple battery against a police officer, 2,000 good. The rest, 500 good each.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's good. Number 13, Mr. Frost is also awaiting.
Okay, Mr. Frost is charged in case 25 CR 008030B with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Last arrest was September 18th, 2025, out of Clayton County for criminal trespass. They have 11 arrest cycles in Georgia. There's a 2017. They have 11 cycles with arrests out of Georgia and South Carolina. There's a 2017 felony conviction for strong arm robbery out of South Carolina. 2022 criminal damage to property felony conviction. There's a 2019 driving while license suspended or revoked. 2025 out of Georgia criminal trespass. 2023 theft by shoplifting. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Spear?
Yes, Your Honor. Officers were dispatched to a suspicious person call at 3110 Godby Road, apartment 7F, as in Frank. Investigator McPherson had arrested or detained, taken custody of Mr. Frost. He was found in the vacant unit 7F. He was found smoking an unknown substance inside the closet of said vacant apartment. He had been issued previous criminal trespass warnings from Manchester Ridge, one being as recent as June 3rd of this year. He'd been arrested for criminal trespassing at the same complex a week later on June 10th. He's had several criminal trespasses, and unfortunately a lot of them repeat. We are asking for a 1,000 surety or $100 cash bond, depending on his situation, to stay away from the Manchester Ridge Apartments at 3110 Godby Road in College Park. It does appear he needs a social worker visit, and of course, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. Excuse me.
Rainford?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Frost is 30 years old. He is residentially challenged currently. He's been in Georgia about 4 years. He was in South Carolina before then, and he mentioned that he was born and raised in Jacksonville, Your Honor. He is unemployed. He has a high school education. He mentioned he has no family here. So I would be asking for the signature bond if applicable, and if not, the lowest possible amount for his circumstances. He cannot afford anything at all, Your Honor.
Will be $100 cash bond. Stay away from the Godby Road address. Social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Number 16, Ms. Hubbard.
Ms. Hubbard, who was charged in case 25 CR 008033C with simple battery family violence. Their history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was November 28th, 2025, out of Fulton for criminal trespass and obstruction. The case is open under 25 CR 0076668B. There are 34 arrest cycles in Georgia. Misdemeanor conviction in 2017 for simple battery, disorderly conduct, and criminal trespass. There's a 2019 misdemeanor conviction for criminal trespass. There appears to be an open probation case for simple battery, family violence, and terroristic threats under 25 CR 008785C. Nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. She's also currently on probation under 25 CR 006785C. And part of that probation is a no further contact with the victim in this case, Aquinas Barber, and a stay away from 3072 Washington Road. She pled to that on November 25th of this year, so 3 weeks ago. So she's already in direct violation of those probation conditions from just 2 weeks ago. We are asking for a $2,500 good bond, considering the probation, the victim, the violation. No further contact, Aquinas Barber. Stay away from the incident location, 3072 Washington Road in East Point. In this particular instance, there is allegations that she may or may not have kicked in the door, which caused a crack. I'm sorry, Miss Hubbard. She had been living there for about 4 months. He offered to take her in to help remedy her situation. But obviously this escalated, the violence ensued. He alleges that she struck him with her right hand, knocked his beer out of his hand. She admitted to slapping Aquinas Barber. I'm not sure what the issue here is with her inability to stay away and remain from contacting Aquinas Barber, but she is in direct violation of the plea that she just took a couple weeks ago. So we'll stay with our $2,500 good bond and the various conditions. No drugs, alcohol, and weapons while on bond.
Spring.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Hubbard mentioned to me that she's been in Georgia all her life. She's unemployed. She has 5 boys, Your Honor. She had a stroke last year, and so she's currently wheelchair bound. She mentioned to me that the alleged victim was harassing her in the situation, and so he was the initial aggressor, Your Honor. She also mentioned that this is her neighbor, so I'm not sure. I just looked it up. I believe this is an apartment complex at 3072 Washington Road. I'm not sure what the stay away order was in the last case, if it was from the entire apartment complex or just from his apartment number, Your Honor, because she did mention to me that this is her neighbor. So I believe she lives in this apartment complex, Your Honor, because she said this was her neighbor, Your Honor. So I'm not sure if she's exactly in violation because I'm not sure of the original terms of the stay away, Your Honor. But I did want to mention that. And I would be asking for a signature bond if applicable, and if not, the lowest possible amount due to the fact that she is unemployed and she relies on family help, Your Honor.
Will be a $2,000 good bond. No further contact with Mr. Barber. Stay away from his residential address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Yeah, this we do 28, Ms. Robinson.
And what are we doing with position 18?
18. Oh, she's gonna be a behavior reset.
Okay, so position 18 is a reset until Wednesday, 12/17. And position 28, Aaron Robinson, charged in case 25 CR 008019F with simple battery. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was October 13th, 2025, out of DeKalb for criminal trespass. They have 17 arrest cycles, arrests out of Georgia and Alabama. There's misdemeanor conviction in 2025 for simple battery and criminal trespass. There appears to be two open probation cases. The first one is for PI, and that's under 25 CR 004348F. The second one is simple battery and criminal trespass under 25 CR 005759F. Nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Thank you, Your Honor. So this incident was from the 12th of this month at the Grady Hospital, located at 80 Jesse Hill Jr. Drive in Atlanta. Defendant spat in the face of one of the nurses there, Miss Deborah Thomas. And this was as she was trying to confirm that defendant was properly discharged from the hospital. With that recent simple battery convictions, criminal trespass convictions, all of which appear to be recent, the state's recommending that the 2,500 surety that was set by the magistrate remains set. We would ask for stay away from Grady at 80 Jesse Hill Jr. Drive unless receiving medical treatment. Social worker visit for BHET, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for Miss Thomas at this time.
And if that individual is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Ms. Kim?
Yes, we do agree with the social worker visit for housing and BHET. She is 37 years old, no child. She was born in Alabama, and I asked her how long she has been here in Georgia. She says that she's been here for 16 years, but she does not have any Georgia address. At this point, she has no job, so there's no way that she's going to be able to pay for any bond. We would like to request for signature on bond. However, if Your Honor is not inclined to give her a signature on bond, we ask for a maximum $500 surety bond.
All right, it'll be $1,000 good bond. No, stay away from Grady Hospital unless she's receiving medical treatment, social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Who do we have next?
Add on for Mr. Mosley.
And what are we doing with position 30, Eugene Sands?
He ain't want to join us today, so he's gonna be a behavior rehab.
Okay, so he's reset as well until 12/17. Right, and Mr. Eric Mosley, charged in case 25 CR 00806008 with public indecency. Is there a history?
There are 24 arrest cycles, arrests out of Georgia and Tennessee. Last arrest was November 1st, 2025, out of DeKalb for criminal trespass. They have misdemeanor convictions for criminal trespass in 2016, 2023, 2024, and 2025. Nothing further to report.
Thank you, Mr. Sirocco.
Thank you, Judge. With his criminal trespass convictions and also his 2025 FTA, in addition to the nature of this case, the state is recommending a $2,500 surety bond, social worker visit for BHET and housing, we think would be appropriate here. Stay away from Los Cabos Bar and Grill, and that's at 10479 Alpharetta Street in Roswell. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, and that is going to be all for the state.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, we have no objection to social worker visit for housing and BHET. He has been homeless for the last 6 months, and he even lost his ID, so he does need some help. He is 45 years old, never had any military experience, no higher education. He graduated from high school 1998, no children, no job. He cannot afford any bond, so any bond will keep him in jail. We would like to request for a signature on bond through jail. Thank you.
Will be $1,000 good bond, stay away from the incident location, social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Okay. Let's see, does that complete the 2 o'clock calendar? Okay, I'll take that as a yes. It's
Your Honor,
Bridgewater.
that was one.
Yes,
Gotcha.
I got it, Mr. Rhodes. Thank you. I don't know what position Mr. Montiero is, but we found out that he is out of state and he will need to, he's on pretrial services level 1 and he will need to report by phone. I'm not sure we clarified that.
Yeah, we did that.
Okay, so he lives in North Carolina, so he is able to report. I just wanted to make sure that we had covered that in the order.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Bridgewater, whenever you're ready for us.
Okay, once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is December 30th to the main calendar, starting with defendant Alston. This case is going to be reset to the SAP calendar dated December 23rd. It will be a $1,000 total good bond. And again, it will be reset till December 23rd. Position 2 is reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 3 is going to the regular SAP calendar, which is December 30th. It has a total of a $1,000 good bond. Position 4, SAP calendar with a total $4,000 good bond. Position 5 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 6 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 7, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 8, reset further notice with a $10,000 SOB through pretrial. 9, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 10, reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 11, reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 12 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $4,500 good bond. 13 is going to the SAP calendar with a $100 cash bond. 14 is a consent bond, which consists of a $2,000 SOB through the jail. 15, now this was one I didn't get, Holt. Can someone tell me what we were doing with Holt?
We have a consent bond for him. Let me pull it up real quick.
That's what it was. Okay. Did you all send that one over to me?
I want to say yes, but let me double check.
Because I didn't see it. Perhaps that's why it's blank. If you will send it to me, that'll be fine, and we can keep it moving.
I've got it. I will send it right now.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Now moving on to position 16. It's going to the SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. 17 was handled on Saturday. 18 is being reset to Wednesday, which is December the 17th. 19 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. Position 20 is a consent bond. Position 21 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 22 is reset further notice with a total $2,500 SOB through pretrial. 23 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 24 is reset further notice with a total $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 25 is reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 26 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 27 is reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 28 SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 29 SAP calendar with a total $2,000 good bond. Position 30 is reset Wednesday to the C calendar December 17th. 31 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $8,000 good bond. 32, reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. And 33 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Now to the add-on calendars. This particular one has the defendant Ruth Archer as position number 1. Okay, Miss Ruth Archer is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Goggins, position 2, is reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 3 is a consent bond, which has a total of a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 4 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. Now to the next add-on calendar, defendant Stephen Davis is reset to the SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. Position 2, SAP calendar with a total $8,000 good bond. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
Okay, if not, you all have a good rest of your week. I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Give me
Take
a
care.
minute to get all this paperwork to you.
Okay, that's fine, Ms. Bridgewater. I'll get it back to you as soon as I get it.
Okay, take care, everybody.